No great army, no colonies, no oil or gold. Yet Switzerland is one of the richest and safest countries in the world. How did this happen? How did this small, mountainous country become a multi-billion-dollar fortress, where dictators, rich businessmen, to top CEOs all hide their money? Many people believe that its secret is only Swiss bank secrecy, but the truth is much deeper than that. Behind this is the neutral image of the two world wars, sensible politics, and an old but solid financial plan. Let's know that tremendous story of Switzerland from the beginning, and know how Switzerland became the world's most mysterious and powerful financial haven. Chapter 1. Establishment of the Swiss Union. Switzerland began in 1291, when three mountainous terrains, Uri, Schwyz, and Unterwallen, joined together to form a settlement. After the death of Rudolf I at that time, they made a treaty called the Federal Charter to maintain their independence and peace. This treaty was later considered to be the foundation of Switzerland. After this, gradually other areas also joined this group, and together they formed a large union. In 1848, after a short civil war, the modern Swiss Union was formed, in which democracy with the direct participation of the people was adopted. It made the country politically strong, peaceful, and trustworthy, and gave Switzerland a distinct identity in the world. Chapter 2. Between Neutrality and Wars. In 1815, the great powers of Europe decided at the Congress of Vienna that Switzerland would always remain neutral. That is, it would not take part in any war. Since then, the country has stayed away from every war and maintained good and balanced relations with all its neighboring countries. When the First World War broke out, countries like France and Germany began to impose heavy taxes on their wealthy citizens. To avoid this, many wealthy people started depositing their money in Swiss banks because they felt the privacy and stability there were safe. Even in the Second World War, Switzerland kept itself neutral. That is, it did not attack anyone, nor did it take anyone's side. However, his banks continued to serve people on both sides. For example, Hitler had a 1.1 billion Reichsmark account in the UBS Bank. About 400 to 700 million Reichsmarks were seized from that account under pressure from the US after the war was over. Switzerland made preparations for its security during the war, but did not attack any country. On the contrary, it also lent to both sides through its strong banking system, which kept it financially strong even after the war. Chapter 3. The Emergence of Banking Secrecy. In 1934, a special law was passed in Switzerland called the Federal Act on Banks and Savings Banks. This law changed the world of Swiss banks forever. Under this, it was made necessary to keep any customer's bank information completely secret. If a bank employee leaks someone's bank data, he can be jailed for up to 5 years, according to Article 47. Another special part was added to this law, Article 47b, which was to protect the property of Jews during the Nazi regime. After this law, Swiss banks became such secret bases where the world's money could be kept in a very safe and completely confidential manner. Revealing the identity of the money deposited in the bank or the identity of the customer became a crime, making the Swiss banking system the most preferred place for the rich and powerful around the world to hide money. Chapter 4. Post-war benefits. After World War II, the economies of most of Europe were devastated, but Switzerland, which remained neutral throughout the war, remained safe and stable. He took advantage of it quickly. While other countries were rebuilding their cities and systems, the Swiss banking system began to lend to the world and grew economically. However, Switzerland was also criticized and questioned for its banking dealings with Axis powers like Nazi Germany during the war. Nevertheless, both world wars saved it from direct damage, and the advantage of which spread Switzerland's identity as a strong and reliable financial center worldwide. Chapter 5. The Modern Banking Superpower. Today, Switzerland's banking sector is considered to be the most powerful and trusted in the world. By 2023, banks here were managing assets of about 8,400 billion Swiss francs, about 9 trillion US dollars. Of this, about $4 trillion is private wealth, of which $2.6 trillion is the money of foreign customers. Because of handling such a large amount of money, Switzerland is called the world's wealth management center. The banking sector is also a large part of Switzerland's economy, Financial services alone accounts for about 9% of the country's total GDP, and banks alone contribute 5.5%. The entire finance sector employs more than 200,000 people and pays a tax of about 7 billion Swiss francs every year. It is clear from all these figures that today's Swiss banking system has become the backbone of the country's economic strength and stability, not just a name. Chapter 6: Major Banks and Private Banking Culture. The biggest identity of Swiss banking is its two famous banks, UBS and Credit Suisse. Together, these two banks handle more than half of the money deposited in Switzerland. These banks, which started in the 19th century, are still counted among the world's largest financial companies. The tradition of private banking in Switzerland is very old. The family banks that started in the 18th century in cities such as Geneva and St. Gallen are still in operation today. These private bankers have maintained their old values and serve rich foreign clients with complete secrecy and trust. However, from time to time, these big banks have also faced controversies. As such, the collapse of Credit Suisse in 2023 damaged the image of Swiss banking. Nevertheless, the strong presence of banks such as UBS and Credit Suisse, long history and global network, have played a key role in making Switzerland the financial capital of the world. Chapter 7: Corporate Tax Policy. Switzerland's tax policy is also a major reason for its economic success. Companies are taxed at two levels, one by the federal government and the other by the provinces called cantons. In recent years, due to tax reforms, most cantons have reduced their tax rates significantly. For example, companies in Basel are taxed at just 13% overall, compared to the world's average of around 24%. The average tax rate for the whole of Switzerland is around 15%, but 18 of the 26 cantons charge even less. The lowest rate is in Zug Canton, where companies have to pay only 11.85% tax. Due to such low tax rates, Switzerland remains very attractive for large companies around the world. Big companies like Glencore, Johnson & Johnson, Siemens have opened their offices in cities like Zug and Basel. Although a minimum of 15% tax was mandated under the new OECD rule in 2021, Switzerland has maintained its competitiveness by offering some special exemptions and continues to attract companies. Chapter 8: Stability, Trust, and Democracy. Switzerland's strong democratic system and stable government are one of its greatest strengths. The institutions here are trustworthy, so investors and rich people from all over the world consider their money safe here. The country has been given an AAA rating by all major credit rating agencies, and its government debt is the lowest among OECD countries. The Central Bank of Switzerland, SNB, works independently, and its main task is to control inflation in the country. The currency Swiss franc is also considered to be the most trusted and stable currency in the world, which is always in the top 10 traded currencies. Whenever there is a crisis in the world, investors turn to Swiss francs and banks to keep their money safe. All these things maintain an honest and transparent environment in Switzerland, which attracts people from all over the world to invest their money here. Chapter 9: Switzerland on the international stage. Switzerland plays a very important role not only for banking, but also in the diplomatic world of the world. Its city, Geneva, is known worldwide as the capital of world peace, as it is home to a large United Nations office called the Palais des Nations. It is also the headquarters of about 40 international organizations. Important organizations like World Health Organization, World Trade Organization, ICRC, International Committee of the Red Cross, and International Chamber of Commerce work in Geneva. Apart from this, the headquarters of the International Olympic Committee and the Red Cross are also here. The city of Bern houses the old office of the Universal Postal Union, and the Bank of International Settlements has its headquarters in Basel. Due to Switzerland's neutral image, it often plays the role of a mediator between the countries of the world. For this reason, Switzerland is considered a symbol of world peace and global trust, and this also makes its financial system more trustworthy. Chapter 10: Controversies and International Pressure. Switzerland's banking may have earned a name for trust and secrecy around the world, but there have been many controversies associated with it. For years, Switzerland protected its strict bank secrecy laws, but as pressure from the US and Europe increased, some changes were introduced. In 2010, Finance Minister Hans Rudolf Merz made it clear that Switzerland would no longer accept any kind of Schwarzgeld. At that time, it was estimated that there could be up to $600 to $700 billion of hidden money in Swiss banks. According to a report, Swiss banks manage a total of $2.4 trillion in foreign assets, which is also considered to be the possibility of hidden money. Due to pressure from the US and the European Union, Switzerland took some tough steps to prevent tax evasion. After 2008, Swiss banks began to share some information on foreign clients under the FATCA law of the US and international tax agreements. At the same time, UBS Bank was accused of tax evasion in the US, which hurt the image of Swiss banking. Nevertheless, Article 47 is still in force today, i.e., banking secrecy is still partially intact. In today's time, under pressure from the FATF, EU, and USA, Switzerland has increased transparency, but there is still vigilance around the world about its private banking system. Chapter 11, Beyond Banking, Diversification. Switzerland's identity is not limited to banks, but its economy is also very strong in many other areas. The pharma and chemical industry here is the backbone of the country. They alone contribute 7% of GDP and account for nearly 50% of total exports. Companies like Novartis and Roche are known worldwide. In addition, the quality of Swiss watches is famous all over the world. The industry contributes 4% of GDP, and Switzerland is the world's largest watch exporter by value. Also, Swiss chocolate, the luxury car industry, and tourism, especially skiing in the Alps, also contribute significantly to the country's earnings. In today's time, Switzerland has also made great progress in technology and innovation. It has consistently topped the Global Innovation Index. There are top universities like ETH Zurich and EPFL Lausanne, and the government spends more than 3% of GDP on research and development. The city of Zug is now known as the Crypto Valley, where blockchain and cryptocurrency startups are thriving. In addition, there are innovation hubs such as drones and food technology in Lausanne and Zurich. All these sectors have combined to make Switzerland's economy not just dependent on banking, but also make it stronger and more diverse. This country has now become a powerful amalgamation of history, trust, and technology, where old experience and new innovation combine to prepare the country for the future. If you enjoyed this enlightening journey, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video.